Another old guy joke. My squad lives on those. My name's Paul Lowrey. I'm a Houston police detective. I'm assigned to gang division. I didn't meet Bill in the police department. We met very young as kids. He would have been much better doing my eulogy. He was much funnier. Whatever, I can't deal. I mean, it is what it is, guys. So you get me, and we're going to give my buddy a good send-off. First of all, everybody needs to know that Bill's not dead. He believed in John 3:16, and he's in heaven. I know that. I knew that day. Second of all, Bill would have loved to see me squirm up here. He had a great sense of humor. A super hard worker, but his sense of humor was awesome. I don't like crowds. I hate funerals, and I detest public speaking. So Bill, hope you're having a good laugh, buddy. I knew Bill for over 40 years and considered him my closest friend, my best friend. We were really a weird pair. I don't know if he enjoyed being the center of attention or he just was the center of attention. Everywhere he walked in, he took over the room with that big smile. If there was a dance going on, he got right in the middle of it. I was always one of those guys that I like to stand in the back, stay quiet. And I think until really recently, everyone in HPD had forgotten I worked here. I started worrying. I was like, maybe they fired me. Maybe I'm like the guy in Office Space. The check's still coming and they think I'm gone. Chief, I want the job. I need it. Bill and I swore a blood oath to one another. We discussed, I bet you 100 times, something happens, you got to take care of Suzanne. Something happens to you, I'm going to take care of Red. Don't worry about it. So that's why I'm here. We told each other's details of how we wanted everything to go. Bill wanted a Viking funeral with a raft and the arrow and guys with swords saluting him, hats with horns. The city couldn't ensure that. He also said he didn't want a big funeral. Lacey and Suzanne trumped me on that, so I love you girls. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Bill the policeman, and then we're going to talk about Bill the man. He joined HPD, as you heard, back in 1990. By his 18th month in HPD, back then, he was already on the TAC team. That was just that guy. He was a worker, man. He could chase down the fastest crook on the planet, and he was a big guy. But he just didn't have any quit in him. He wasn't going to give up. That guy just eventually exhaust and fall over, and Bill come lumbering by and pick him up. Nick, one of Bill's old partners, told me that if Bill and Bill saw a fugitive out on the street, they'd just pull up in front of the guy and they'd step out and they'd just stare at him, and Bill would raise that eyebrow. You know how he did that? And the crook would go, and Bill would just nod. Crook would just walk to the car, and they'd put him in the car. It's a good story. Bill the man. My parents moved us here from Southeast Texas. One day I was in the locker room at Spring High School, football locker room, and this big kid with helmet hair and a gap in his teeth and my brother were about to fight. Now my brother's about 10 times tougher than me, and he don't need any help. I went and got in the middle of it like brothers do, and Bill said, "What's y'all's problem?" Like, "You're gonna fight my brother." My brother was like, "You bumped into me." And Bill looked at us and he really scowled. He had that Bill scowl. And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry." We said, "We're sorry too." And after that, we were inseparable. He became my fourth brother. He was always at my house, or I was always at his. And both our mother's grocery bill spiraled out of control. just went up exponentially. Bill and I had a lot of adventures, although over the years they've kind of mellowed a little bit. And I feel like I need to tell you all, you don't know that Bill had superpowers. His first and greatest superpower was he could break anything. He broke every stick of good furniture in my mother's house and in his mother's house. He didn't do it on purpose, but that's what he did. We have a friend, his mother said, Miss Neighbors, she said, he was like putting a bull in a china cabinet. He was big, he had a lot of energy, and didn't have what us law enforcement guys call fender judgment. One time, my parents were out of town, and we had a few hundred close friends over for choir practice. Sorry, Pop. A lot of stuff got broken, including the kitchen doors. And in the entry hall of our house, which was really well lit up, there's a hole in the wall. So my brother said, don't worry about the doors, I got that. And Bill and I studied that hole. Scowled at it. Bill said, I can fix that. I was like, how? He's like, I fixed a lot of them. And if you know Bill, it's accurate. So we went to the kitchen and he got like every paper towel roll out of the cabinet, and he stuffed like 7,000 paper towels in the wall, and we studied it. And Bill, he just wasn't happy. And so he went over and he got one sheet of newspaper and folded it neatly, put it inside. And he stared at it and he got that smug Bill smile. And he's like, yeah, that's it. So then he spackled it and he textured it with a washcloth. And he was so pleased with himself. And then I painted it and we sweated while that paint dried, man. I don't know if it's gonna match. And finally, it matched. Bill was so happy, so pleased with himself. So we went and sat on the couch and watched football. Well, my parents got there, and my mom made about a step and a half in the house, and she said, Bill, Paul. And we showed up, and we were like, what, Mother? She's like, who did that? And we're like, what? She said, the hole. I don't know. I was grounded for like a month from everybody except for Bill. I used to live in a house, and they had one of those 1980 galvanized 3-inch posts buried in the ground in concrete. I mean, like a yard and a half of concrete. And the buyer wanted that post gone. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'll just buy a sledgehammer and I'll work on it every day after work. Man, I worked on that thing all week. I was starting to sweat. We were getting close. I didn't know what I was going to do. And finally, staring at it, it just had a little bit chipped off. I was like, man, I got to destroy that thing. I'm going to call Bill. So I did. Bill showed up. He looked like a 6-year-old who got a bike at Christmas. He was super excited. He's like, give me that sledgehammer. You're not doing it right. And he took a baseball swing hard as he could, and he hit that post with the handle, and he broke the sledgehammer. You know what? I knew what I had done, what I had unleashed. So I went to Ace Hardware, and I went to look for an unbreakable sledgehammer, and I found one with a strong plastic handle, and I was like, that's going to do it. And I brought it home, and I gave it to Bill, and Bill, he had that approving look. He looks at it, and he just looks at me. Yeah. So he takes that thing. I don't know what the bat speed that he swung on that thing, but it like made a sound as it passed through the air, and it hit that post, and all that concrete just shattered below. The ringing from the post knocked out satellites. I think it's still going through space right now. Billy, he looks at the broken concrete. He's very satisfied. He said, let's get it dug out. I said, okay. He grabs a shovel, he jams it down with his foot, he bends, and he broke the shovel. That's Billy. We had a tough week. Late at night a week. Why were we friends? What'd he see in me? He was as close to any brother I ever had. And I thought about it, and I would reduce everything and try to get to its simplest. And I figured it was Bill's passion for life and for people. That's what I admired about him, and it kept me fully engaged in the Bill Jeffrey galaxy. He had other superpowers. They were love and forgiveness. He loved a lot of people. He was the glue to this family. I've talked to many, many guys that I didn't know that were friends of Bill. And I bet you I've heard 20 or 25 times, Bill was my best friend. I believe that. That was that guy. He loved people, and he forgave very quickly. Lacey's mom, Sherry's Bill's first wife. They are best friends along with the rest of the 400 of us. She's right here in the front row with us today. No one else was capable of doing that. He probably had a dozen or more 40-plus year relationships. Simultaneously, he would befriend all these other people. He'd love all those sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews scattered around the country, get to every event Lacey ever participated in, keep his ex-in-laws happy, and he kept my cranky tail happy. And that's tough. And he managed it because he loved easily and he forgave quickly. I felt this rage, a driving anger come out of me. And when it was about to explode, I felt God. And the Spirit whispered to me, redirect it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure nobody ever forgets Bill. I'm going to be more passionate about my God, my family, and my work. I'm going to love easier, and I'm going to forgive faster. And I challenge all of you here today, and anyone listening to me, to do the same. This world's going to be better. Billy'd like you to do it.